It's
Ready?
I can't remember, what is it?
Girl Scout cookie time.
Yes.
Ready?
It's Girl Scout.
Wait.
It's Girl Scout cookie time.
Woo! Unfortunately, you can't eat Girl Scout cookies.
You can.
You can, but you'll pay for them. I don't know how many. We should have looked up to see how many net carbs each one is. But I don't know. What are your favorites?
Well, I like those. What are they called? They're like I like the shortbread.
Oh, really?
I like shortbread.
I like the little caramel delights or Samoas.
So everybody loves Samoas.
Yeah.
But my favorite
yeah?
is the Thin Mint.
Okay. Well, I am going to satisfy your craving for Thin Mints because we're making Girl Scout cookies. Low carb Girl Scout cookies.
Awesome.
So I got all the ingredients here to do it.
What's your favorite cookie?
I think probably the Samoas first.
Okay.
And then Girl Scout cookie, or Girl Scout cookie.
Yeah.
And then Thin Mints after that. So.
But this one comes without guilt and peer pressure.
Correct.
We won't stop you at Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you still can't eat an entire box full, you know.
You can.
Well, you can. That's true.
For those of you that take cheat days.
Technically, if you didn't eat anything else, you could sit down and have like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Because they're one net carb a piece.
Yeah, that's not advised.
No, not. All right, so I've got some almond flour. I'm excited to try the King Arthur brand because that's like my favorite flour. I'm a flour snob because I love to bake, so I'm excited to try their almond flour. It's super fine, so super fine that I can't even find the way to open it. There we go. And I'm going to add in 1 3/4 cup of super fine almond flour. All right, then we're gonna add some cocoa powder. And if you've watched a couple of videos, you know I love the Amish stores.
Yes.
When we go to Ohio, I like to go to the Amish bakeries and the little food stores, what do they call them, like natural store, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, this is from one, and this is a black cocoa powder. Ooh. So it's just gonna give that real dark look, which is gonna make it doesn't really taste any different. It's just gonna give it a darker look so it looks more like the real thing. Yeah. So this is 1/3 cup. This is pretty I don't have a knife here, but I'm gonna use my finger. Just make sure. Looks pretty good. 1/3 cup. And this is 1/3 cup of the Swerve sweetener. I'm gonna put that in there. And then this is baking powder. This is new also. It's a double acting baking powder with no added aluminum. So I thought I would give that a try. So 1 teaspoon of that. All I can tell you is if you're baking, always make sure your baking powder is fresh. And we're gonna add in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So now you just wanna mix these dry ingredients together before you add in the wet. Okay, we're gonna be adding 1 egg, and you want your egg to be at room temperature. And a little trick about that is if you're impatient like me, you just stick it in some warm water, and that helps to get it room temperature without having to wait for like, an hour. And this is 2 tablespoons of melted butter, which is now solidified to some degree. Also gonna add in some vanilla, my great Mexican vanilla that I love. Now, a lot of people, well, probably not a lot of people, probably no one actually, but maybe you are wondering.
I was just wondering.
Why we're not putting anything minty in here. That's because the minty part of the flavoring is going to go in the chocolate that we're coating this with and not in the cookie. Otherwise, it'll be too overwhelming.
I gotcha. I was just wondering that.
I figured you would be.
Yeah.
You can see it's pretty dry. It takes a little while to incorporate everything in. Okay, I've preheated the oven to 300 degrees. You want a not quite as hot oven as you normally would for cookies because you don't want these to burn. All right, I've shaped this into a kind of a flattened circle. I'm going to put another piece of parchment paper down on it, and then I'm going to just roll this out. And when you're doing it between two pieces of parchment paper, it's kind of hard, actually, to roll it. It might be easier if I had a regular rolling pin with this, but I don't. Well, actually, I think I do, but...
Paper just makes it slippery?
Yeah. So what I end up doing is more like this than actually rolling it. And I've got this, I don't know, what would you say? That's 1.5 inches?
1.5 inches.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Cookie cutter. And so I'm just going to try to get as many cookies as I can out of this. And it's not going to probably pick up. You know, I'm just going to want to go around. You can pick them up later.
Look at that.
Okay, so I'm just going to take this spatula and kind of move so I can get these off, start putting them on a parchment lined baking sheet. As you can see, some of them are slightly larger than others.
Just like Girl Scout cookie customers.
That is true. I thought that you were going to say that's what she said.
Now that you've said it, that is what she said.
So this is the leftover dough after cutting out 21 cookies. And you can reuse this dough and make more. So just gonna do what I did before, and then I'll roll it out and make some more. Okay, these are going into a 300-degree oven. They are going to take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to cook, depending on how thick we made them. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be about 20 or 25. I don't think it'll be 30.
Okay.
Okay, the Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints are out of the oven, and now they are ready to be dunked in chocolate. So we've got a small pan of water here. It's only got maybe about this much water in it. And it's almost to a boil. I'm gonna turn it down to where it just kind of simmers. And I'm gonna add in a metal bowl. You do not want the bottom of the bowl to touch the water. So that creates that. I have it down on about between 2 and 3, so it'll stay on a nice simmer. And then I'm going to add in a tablespoon of coconut oil. Got a bag of Lily's dark chocolate baking chips, no sugar added. Any no sugar added chocolate would be fine, but what you don't want to use is the unsweetened or bittersweet chocolate. There's a difference. Your cookies will not taste good if you use that. So I'm just going to pour this whole bag in here.
And that coconut oil is completely melted.
Yeah.
Whole bag.
And I'm just going to kind of stir it around until it is completely melted. Okay, and the final ingredient for the chocolate topping is pure peppermint extract. I'm going to put a teaspoon in there. Okay, once everything is mixed together and nice and melted, you can take it off the heat. You might have to, depending on how long it takes you to do these, you might have to put it on the heat every once in a while to get it warm again. But you're just going to take one cookie at a time, and your 2 forks, and you're going to dunk that cookie in there, and you're just going to twirl it around, pull it out.
I'll be hearing that in my sleeve.
Well,
ding, 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 ding.
And I'll stop banging so I can tell you, you want to bang it on the edge and get as much of the chocolate off as you can so you don't have puddles of chocolate around your cookie.
All right.
Okay, we have finished and our cookies are in the freezer just firming up the chocolate. And we have some leftover chocolate here. If you have leftover chocolate like this, don't throw it away. This is a candy bar in the making.
Oh, that's true.
So it's a peppermint chocolate candy bar. So I'm going to put it right in here. And I'm doing it on the scale so that I know how much I didn't use. So I can go ahead and get the correct amount of ingredients. So I have correct and accurate macros. So there's 9 ounces in the package. Looks like probably 3.5 ounces weren't used.
Nice. That would be a nice.
Yes, I'm gonna put some. And just, I'll make
That was pepper.
Okay, here's the final product. Looks just like a Thin Mint. Let's see if it snaps open. Oh, yeah. Like a Thin Mint. I did it the wrong way. And